My husband thought he could play me for all these years, but I found out his dark secret and I want out. Hey Reddit, I never thought I'd find myself in a situation like this, but here I am, sharing my story in the hopes that maybe someone out there can relate or offer advice. I'm a 38-year-old woman, and my life has been turned upside down in the most surreal way imaginable. For the past 12 years, I've been happily married to my husband, Tom. We've built a life together, had 2 kids, and while our marriage wasn't without its ups and downs, I truly believed we had a strong and loving relationship. That is, until I stumbled upon the truth in the most unexpected way. Last week, I was going through some old files on our home computer when I found an email thread that didn't seem like it belonged to me or Tom. Curiosity got the best of me and I opened it. To my shock, the thread was between Tom and a woman I didn't recognize. They were discussing plans for a weekend getaway and included pictures of what appeared to be a cozy, well-furnished home. One that didn't look like anything we owned. At first, I thought it was some sort of elaborate prank or a mistake. But as I dug deeper, I found more evidence. Photos of Tom with this woman, whom I later learned is named Emily, and even pictures of 2 young kids. The whole thing made my stomach churn. I decided to confront Tom. When I asked him about it, he looked like a deer caught in headlights and eventually confessed that he had a second family. For the past 6 years, he's been living a double life. He had another wife, Emily, and 2 children with her. He'd been balancing both lives, making elaborate excuses for his absences, and lying to both of us. The revelation was devastating. I felt completely blindsided and betrayed. But that's not where the story ends. The twist? Emily and I ended up communicating. I reached out to her through a contact I found in the email thread. Turns out, she was just as shocked and hurt as I was. She had no idea Tom was married to anyone else. After some emotional conversations, Emily and I decided to team up. We agreed that Tom needed to face the consequences of his actions, and we wanted to ensure that everyone knew the full extent of his deceit. We came up with a plan to expose him, but we wanted to be thorough and strategic. Emily and I spent days gathering evidence. We compiled a detailed timeline of Tom's double life, complete with screenshots of incriminating emails, text messages, and pictures. We even tracked down his financial records that showed how he was splitting his resources between us. The most gut-wrenching discovery was that Tom had been using a separate bank account to fund vacations and gifts for Emily and their children, all while pretending to be working late or on business trips for weeks at a time. But the story took an even darker turn when Emily made another discovery. After the media story about Tom's double life went public, Emily was contacted by a former colleague of Tom's. This person revealed that Tom had an assistant, Chloe, with whom he had been intimately involved. Chloe had been pregnant around the same time Emily uncovered Tom's secret life. Chloe had kept the pregnancy a secret and had recently given birth. Emily reached out to Chloe, who confirmed the story and shared her own painful experience. She had been involved with Tom during the same period he was juggling his 2 families. The revelation was staggering. Chloe had been left alone to deal with her pregnancy and the aftermath of her relationship with Tom, which had been nothing more than another layer of deception. The news added another layer of complexity to the story, which we decided to include in our follow-up with the media. We felt it was important for the full truth to be known. The added exposure further damaged Tom's reputation, making the public and his former associates fully aware of his duplicitous nature. The fallout was dramatic. Tom lost his job at a prestigious law firm where he had built a successful career. His reputation was obliterated, and he became the subject of intense public scrutiny. His colleagues, who had been clueless about his deceit, were shocked and disappointed. Tom's family, who had been oblivious to his actions, was devastated and struggled to cope with the public humiliation. My own family was also deeply hurt. They felt betrayed by Tom's actions and were angry at him for the way he had manipulated and deceived us. My parents and siblings rallied around me and my kids, offering support and helping us navigate the emotional fallout. Throughout this ordeal, Emily and I found an unexpected friendship. We bonded over our shared pain and began working together on initiatives to support other women who've been in similar situations. We started a support group for partners of cheaters and even began speaking at events about the emotional and psychological impact of infidelity. It was a way for us to reclaim our power and help others who had been through similar experiences. Tom eventually reached out to both of us, attempting to make amends. He wanted to apologize and, presumably, to regain some semblance of his former life. But his attempts were met with cold indifference. The damage was done, and both Emily and I were determined to move forward without him in our lives. Before finishing up this story, I want to touch on a significant part of this journey: my divorce from Tom. After discovering Tom's double life, the immediate aftermath was a whirlwind of shock, anger, and intense emotional pain. My initial confrontation with him led to an honest, albeit gut-wrenching, discussion about his betrayal. Tom's confession of his secret second family was just the beginning of a complex and painful process. The divorce proceedings were a massive undertaking. The process was emotionally draining, and dealing with the fallout of Tom's actions added layers of complexity. We had to navigate custody arrangements for our 2 children, financial settlements, and the dissolution of a life we had built together. Every step was marred by the aftermath of his deceit. Tom's actions not only shattered our marriage, but also impacted every aspect of our lives. It was a battle to come to terms with the extent of his betrayal and to rebuild our lives from the ground up. The emotional and practical challenges were overwhelming, but with support from family and friends, I managed to get through it. The divorce was finalized about 3 months after Tom's confession. It was a necessary step to move on from the constant reminder of his deception. The legal process was complicated by the public nature of the scandal, but ultimately, it provided a sense of closure and allowed me to start focusing on healing and rebuilding my life. As for Tom, the fallout from the divorce and his public exposure was just the beginning. He was already struggling with the damage to his reputation and his strained relationships with both families. The divorce itself was a crucial step in severing ties and moving forward. Now, with the recent news of Tom's arrest for embezzlement, it feels like another chapter in an ongoing saga of misfortune and deceit. The arrest was a significant development, and it was hard not to feel a mix of disbelief and grim satisfaction. Tom's legal troubles are a stark reminder of how far-reaching the consequences of his actions have been. For Emily and me, the arrest was both unsettling and validating. We've continued to focus on our own healing and the positive impact we can make through our advocacy work. Our support group for partners of cheaters and our nonprofit initiative are thriving, and they have been a source of strength and purpose as we navigate the aftermath of Tom's betrayals. As for Tom, his legal troubles are just beginning. The charges against him are serious, and his future remains uncertain. Chloe, his former assistant and now partner, has distanced herself amid the scandal, adding another layer to the evolving story. Big update. I'm back with an update on my story about Tom's double life. If you missed the original post, you can catch up on the drama of discovering Tom's secret second family and the fallout that followed. The situation was already complex and painful, but there's been another twist since then. So, here's what's happened since I last posted. After the media coverage of Tom's deception, Emily and I were busy trying to rebuild our lives. We focused on supporting each other and advocating for others in similar situations. The exposure had taken a heavy toll on all aspects of Tom's life: his career, his reputation, and his relationships with both families. We thought that Tom had hit rock bottom. However, things took an unexpected turn when Tom's former assistant, Chloe, entered the picture. You may recall that Chloe had been involved with Tom romantically and had even given birth to his child around the same time Emily discovered his double life. Chloe had kept her pregnancy and relationship with Tom a secret, and after the media storm, she also became a part of the public narrative. Here's where the story gets even more complicated. Chloe and Tom have rekindled their relationship. After the initial fallout, Tom and Chloe began seeing each other more frequently. Tom had reached out to Chloe in an attempt to make amends, and, perhaps surprisingly, they found themselves drawn to each other. Chloe, who had also been deeply hurt by Tom's deceit, found that their shared experience created a strange bond. It seems that Tom's attempts at reconciliation went beyond just making amends. Chloe and Tom started seeing each other more seriously. Chloe, having endured her own share of emotional turmoil, decided to give their relationship a chance. They moved in together and, in a twist of fate, Tom's public image as a troubled but redeemed man gave him a new platform. Chloe has become a prominent figure in Tom's life and public appearances. They've been seen attending charity events together, with Tom using these opportunities to rebrand himself as a man who has learned from his mistakes. This public image makeover has been frustrating to witness, given the context of how he treated both Emily and me. For Emily, this news was particularly jarring. She had hoped that Tom's actions would lead to a period of reflection and remorse, not a new romantic relationship. Emily struggled with the feeling that Tom's new life was somehow an affront to the pain he had caused. The reconciliation between Tom and Chloe felt like an additional layer of betrayal, especially since Chloe was an integral part of Tom's web of deceit. As for me, it's been a mix of frustration and sorrow. Seeing Tom move on with Chloe, someone who was entangled in the same deceit, has been a harsh reminder of the depth of his betrayal. It felt like adding insult to injury, a cruel twist to an already painful experience. The public spectacle of their relationship only served to amplify the sense of injustice. Despite the shock and hurt, both Emily and I have continued to move forward. We've focused on our own healing and supporting each other through this new phase. Our support group for Partners of Cheaters has grown, and we've started working on a nonprofit initiative to help single parents affected by infidelity. It's been a way to channel our pain into something positive and to support others going through similar struggles. Tom's new relationship with Chloe has also affected how we view our own journey. While it's disheartening to see Tom seemingly finding happiness with Chloe, it has reinforced our resolve to move on and build better futures for ourselves and our families. We've accepted that we can't control Tom's actions or his choices. We can only control our own responses and paths. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, but Emily and I have learned to find strength and growth in the midst of the chaos. The situation is still evolving, but we're committed to moving forward and finding happiness on our own terms. Thanks again for reading and for all the support and advice I've received. I'll keep you updated if there are any more twists in this ongoing saga. Update 2. Hey Reddit, I'm back with another update on the saga of Tom's life. If you're just joining us, my previous posts covered the shocking discovery of Tom's double life, his fallout with both families, and the surprising development where he rekindled a relationship with his former assistant, Chloe. As it turns out, life had another twist in store for Tom. After Tom and Chloe went public with their relationship, they seemed to settle into a new life together. Tom had managed to rebrand himself as a man who has learned from his mistakes, and Chloe was by his side as they attended various public events. Their relationship seemed to be progressing, and Tom even managed to secure a new job as a financial consultant at a reputable firm. However, the veneer of Tom's redemption was about to crack. Just a few weeks ago, Tom was arrested for embezzling a significant amount of money from his new employer. The arrest was the result of an investigation triggered by irregularities in the firm's financial records. It turned out that Tom, who had been in charge of managing client funds and investments, had been siphoning off money for months. The amount he embezzled was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The news broke quickly, and once again, Tom found himself at the center of a media storm. The reports detailed how he had used his position to create false accounts and funnel money into personal investments and lavish expenses. It became clear that Tom had not only deceived his family but had also betrayed the trust of his new employer and its clients. The arrest was a public spectacle. Tom was taken into custody in handcuffs, and the media coverage was relentless. Chloe, who had been a supportive partner throughout Tom's previous scandals, was now grappling with the shock of his criminal activities. The arrest not only tarnished Tom's already fragile reputation but also had a significant impact on Chloe, who was left to deal with the fallout of his actions. For Emily and me, the news was a mix of disbelief and grim satisfaction. We couldn't help but feel that Tom's arrest was a fitting consequence for his numerous betrayals. It was a harsh reminder of the depths of his deceit and the extent to which he was willing to go to cover his tracks. The fact that his criminal activities came to light only added another layer to the tumultuous saga of his life. Emily and I discussed the situation and found ourselves reflecting on the twists and turns of the past year. We had been through so much, and seeing Tom face legal repercussions was both unsettling and validating. It was a reminder of how interconnected the repercussions of one's actions can be. Despite the ongoing chaos, Emily and I have continued to focus on our own healing and advocacy work. Our support group for Partners of Cheaters is thriving, and our nonprofit initiative is making strides. We've channeled our energy into helping others and finding purpose beyond the pain. As for Tom, his legal troubles are just beginning. The charges against him are serious, and he faces significant legal consequences. Chloe has distanced herself from him amid the scandal, and their relationship has been put to the test. The fallout from his arrest is likely to affect not only his personal life but also his professional future. Life has a way of delivering unexpected twists, and this latest development is no exception. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, but Emily and I are determined to keep moving forward. We've learned that even in the midst of the most unpredictable situations, there is strength to be found in resilience and in the support of those who understand. Thanks for sticking with me and reading through my long post, and thank you all for your continued support and kind words. I'll keep you posted if there are any more updates in this ongoing saga.